an impressive display in all aspects, really.
True. I couldn't have more respect actually for what Salzburg is doing here. So I know how people see it. You think about being the best team in Austria is okay, but it's and a guy from yesterday maybe is here asked me that direction, so they don't respect that really. And then you see how good they are, how good they were in the first game, how good they were against Napoli, against Genk anyway. And then you could come here as the current or whatever Champions League winner and misunderstand that situation. And I love it. I really love it that my team is so smart that they listen and that they put a shift in like that. Salzburg was unbelievable strong, especially in the first half, but we as well. So we were ready for that fight. And yeah, could have scored in the first half already, should have scored maybe. And second half then, it's not easy to keep that intensity. So we scored the goals, could have scored more, but really massive respect for Jesse and Salzburg, what they did here.
Maybe one question and the gentleman behind you for the microphone.
Jürgen, Mo scored arguably his most difficult chance of the evening. I just wonder, how do you explain that finish from where he was?
Thank God I don't have to. So now one time back, it was for sure the most difficult situation he had tonight, but that's exactly what I said about the team. He played really well, but didn't score with situations we would expect him usually to score. And then staying on track and making such a decisive and very difficult finish, that says probably, again, much more about him than all the other goals he scored so far. So being really staying in the game, staying concentrated, believe in the next moment. So that was brilliant. Very, very difficult goal, but sensationally finished.
Herr Klopp, Sie sind jetzt
now Liverpool is the first in the championship in England, is the first in the group now, in the group stage. So are there any limits to the team?
Ja, leider ja. So, wir haben bisher wirklich.
Yes, of course there are limits. We have to work hard to achieve what we want. We wanted to move on to the next knockout phase. That was important. And it wasn't in our plan to be leader of the championship in December, but it's great to be there. But we need we need to use everything, and we need to work very hard. But yes, there are limits. And if we play like this, if the boys play like this, then it makes it easier for us. But they have to be ready and try to achieve their goals always like they did tonight.
So, ja, uns sind Grenzen gesetzt, aber wie die Jungs, den Charakter, den die Jungs heute Abend wieder gezeigt haben, macht es leichter, mit all den Schwierigkeiten, die uns da noch bevorstehen, einfach umzugehen. Also wir sind bereit, schwierigen Phasen entgegenzutreten, weil die Jungs diesen außergewöhnlichen Charakter an den Tag legen.
Yeah, again, we saw Day and Lovren go off injured. Can you tell us anything about that injury and whether it's a bad one?
We hope that it's exactly the same like last time. We felt something and then we made a decision. So it's it's of course not cool, but he played really well and was very important in that. Don't know how long it was, 60 minutes, 55 minutes, somewhere around. So we don't know in the moment more. So it felt similar like the last time. That's it. We have to see.
Herr Klopp, wir haben ein sehr intensives Spiel erlebt, glaube ich.
We saw a very interesting game, a very intense game. How intense did you feel it during the game? And did you have the feeling during the game that it might have ended differently?
Ich hatte nicht das Gefühl, ich wusste das vor dem Spiel schon. Das war im Spiel, hat mich ein österreichischer Kollege gerade schon gefragt. Im Spiel mache ich mir darum keine Gedanken.
The answer was, well, I didn't have the feeling during the game. I knew it before, but during the game I really don't think about that. You need to use your opportunities that you have during the game. That's the stuff that you have to do during the game. I don't think about these things during the game. They began great, they began very quick, but then Haaland and Hwang saw that it's not as easy as they think to win running against Virgil. But Jesse and his team, they worked greatly with their team, and they gave them a fantastic attitude. They used what they could use, but we also played very well in the spaces. When we started to play better, and let's say not better, but when we started to play more intelligent and use these spaces that we had in the second half, then we used our opportunities. Apparently, and in the second half, how we played it was very difficult for Salzburg. I see it here that we had 21 attempts on goal and we could have scored 5 or 6 times. So it was really difficult for Salzburg then in the second half. But once again, my highest respect for Jesse and his team.
Laufwege geschaffen und aber das ist ja das, was ich dann gesagt habe, das liebe ich bei meiner Mannschaft, dass wir bereit sind, diese Wege zu machen. Und in dem Moment, wo wir angefangen haben, Fußball zu spielen, wir wollten haben in der Halbzeit gesagt, wir müssen ganz, ganz einfach spielen, weil Salzburg springt uns mehr oder weniger an. Also die sind so aggressiv, nicht foulmäßig, sondern so irgendwie am Anlaufen, dass wenn wir schnell und einfach spielen, dann kommen wir in Top-Situationen. Das hat man dann gesehen. War in der ersten Halbzeit schon so, aber vielleicht ist den Jungs nicht so aufgefallen. In der zweiten Halbzeit war es dann deutlich mehr geplant und haben sie den Kopf mehr oben gehabt. Und dann wird es super schwer für Salzburg. Wenn wir auf einmal super Kontermöglichkeiten gehabt, ich weiß gar nicht wie viele. Normal, wir haben in dem Spiel offensichtlich 21 Abschlüsse gehabt, was nicht so schlecht ist für ein Auswärtsspiel. Und wir hätten 5, 6 Tore machen können. Da hätte sich keiner beschweren dürfen. Und deshalb alles gut, aber die Mannschaft Salzburg war top eingestellt.
Very last question.
Herr Klopp, in Hochdeutsch. 2 Ihrer Spieler sind ja an ihrer
You played here with 2 players that once played in Salzburg, Keita and Mané. So, what do you think about their performance tonight?
Für die beiden, für Mané und Keita. Mané war ja ein ständiger Unruheherd.
Ja, Nabi war auch extrem stark, ja. So, hier
Well, apparently you're educating great players here in Salzburg. Both, I think they played very well. And Nabi, we used him in the beginning a little bit on the wing, and then we changed our system from 4-3-3 to 4-4-1-1, and we used him in a 10 position, and he really played great. Both of them played great, so yeah, fantastic.
Von 4-3-3 auf 4-4-1-1, das hat uns auch gut getan dann. Aber dann haben wir Nabi auf die 10 gestellt und da war er dann nochmal richtig stark, obwohl schon ein bisschen müde. Also das war ein Top-Spiel von beiden.